today we are going to be talking about leisure lines. Now, leisure lines are, if we can find, I've just lost them. Oh no, here. So you see how we have the 5-line staves here. All the notes fall perfectly. They're all quite nice. It goes D, F, D, C, D. Wait a minute. But these two are higher than the stave. Why are they higher than the stave? How possibly is someone supposed to know what note they are? Well, that is where leisure lines come in. Now, leisure lines are these, as you can see, these notes are different to the others. If, like, say that we had a G at the top of this, it wouldn't have that little line through it. Now, the line through the notes at the top are what we call leisure lines. Now, leisure lines are lines that help show a musician what the notes are. Basically, it's so the 5-line stave can stay as 5 lines and not be like 20 lines all the way at the top, because then this book could be a hell of a lot bigger. It could be a lot bigger, yeah. But these leisure lines help musicians understand what the high notes are that are higher than the 5-line stave. Now, these specific ones are both the same, which is quite helpful because it allows me to explain them both at the same time. Now, as you can see, we have an F here. So if we were going to go onto the line, it'd be a G. And then if we imagine a line above that, that line above would be an A if we're going in the alphabet, because G then goes all the way back to A. Now, so this note would be an A, and this note would be an A as well, because they're both on the same leisure line. Now, leisure lines are not just at the top. As you can see here, we kind of encroached it on through the camera, but we have notes here. Sorry about that, there was a bit of noise in my house. But anyway, there are leisure lines here that we can use to determine lower notes. Now, if we were to have a D as the bottom note, so it'd be connected to the E line at the bottom, but it'd be below the E line. Now, the line below the D would be a C. So that note there is a C. And then the note below that would be under the C line, which would be a B. And now we have an even lower one here, which if we work out, if that's the C line, the top leisure line is a C line. Then we've got B in the gap, A in there, A as the second leisure line, and G follows it. So those are the different leisure lines. There can be leisure lines very, very high. They can be like all the way up here, but that's what the clefs come in for, because the clefs allow like better understanding of where the notes are, and leisure lines also do come in quite annoyingly. If they are really high up, then you've got to work out what that note is. You've got to count each note. It does get quite a tedious process, but that's where the clefs come in, because the clefs allow you to erase leisure lines, basically. Seeing as this note here, so if we have middle C is the first leisure line, but middle C on here is this line here, the bottom line, or is it? I'm not really sure. I'm not sure where middle C is on the bass clef. I'm not too confident on the bass clef, but we move past that. But these leisure lines here on the treble clef will be made easier to see on the bass clef. If we were to just change the clef to a bass clef, it'd make the leisure lines disappear and all the notes would be on the stave, which would be much easier for all the musicians. Same with the high notes. I mean, I don't think it is the same with the high notes, as the treble clef is one of the highest clefs. So I believe that is everything that I need to teach you for this video. Thank you.